So 2009, he was given this appointment letter before the Easter holiday. I saw my husband James very uneasy, and he even told me, do not tell anybody about this appointment. As he received the letter, and I was, rejoicing. I'm the kind of person who goes, and just, he said, please don't tell anybody because things are really bad. That's the time I realized that my husband's life is in danger. It's one of those holiday, Easter is here, we are going home. And so we traveled, and we arrived safely, but on our way back from that Easter holiday is when we got an accident. We were all in the car, our children and our house help and the driver. At the point where we got the accident past Nakuru, we hit some animals on the road. It wasn't anything major. We just hit the animals. We all had a little bit of here and there. I had a little cut on my nose, some pain on my neck. James had pain in his leg, the driver, and our son, who was a candidate then, also sustained some injury on his leg. So they were at the front of the vehicle. The rest of us in the car were okay. We came out okay from the accident. So the four of us who sustained some injuries, we had to go to hospital. And we were taken to Aga Khan Hospital. And at Aga Khan Hospital, we were admitted into the various, the way they I was taken to the women's ward. There was, all this. And what is very strange is, just after we got the accident, and James was calling my dad to say we have an accident here, the brother came with Caleb Kositany, and they are the ones who were admitting us to hospital. On the very day that we were admitted in hospital, I was surprised to see Mheshimiwa Ruto come. He's the most unlikely person that I would have expected. No, knowing we were not friends, and he had been threatening my husband. I least expected him to come and see us in hospital. So his visit made me uncomfortable. And the next day, when the doctor came to see me, after they had stitched my nose, he asked me, so who is William Ruto to you? A question that made me feel some pain for a minute, because the only thing I could say was, he is my member of parliament. I knew we no longer had any friendship. There was no longer any friendship between us and him. And the doctor went ahead to ask me, is he a relative? Is he related to you or James? And I said, no. And then I said, why? The doctor said to me, why do people want to interfere with our work? A question that I pulled back to him, and I said, hey, doc, why would you let anybody interfere with your work? So things just moved very fast, and on the next day, one of our friends came to me and showed a lot of concern about moving James out of the hospital. And I was in agreement, but I needed to consult with my brother-in-law, who is older than James, and who was at this point taking care of us. And he was not quite in agreement. Unfortunately, that's how things went bad. And on the next day, we were discharged that very day, me and my son. But James was kept in hospital because the doctor said that he needed to still stay for about another week. He wanted a meeting with the family to reassure us that all was well. And we were able to have that meeting, and the doctor told us that James was really a great fighter. Something that I have asked myself why it was necessary to call him a fighter. And he reassured us that James was going to be okay, maybe in about a week. The turn of events is the very next day, because the doctor was seeing us on a Friday. On Saturday, James died. Very mysterious indeed, because being reassured on Friday that he's going to do well, James being called a great fighter, that he was really fighting, and him dying on a Saturday, just a day after, leaves a lot to be admired, and just from a minor bone fracture on his leg. I need some napkin. So maybe I should skip there. But I was there for some time. They couldn't believe me when I was telling them not to take them away, and I was surprised they were not listening to me, because they were like, we have to take the body away. I mean, in less than 5 minutes they were taking the body away, and I was I mean, I don't know about medicine so much, but I believe they can give somebody, a few minutes in the room before they wheel them away. But yeah, they were very categorical. They were like, no, we have to take the body away. And they were taking the body away, and they were leaving me now. I was surrounded by all these people, and it was one tough moment. So I was very disturbed and very surprised to see everybody there. All my brother-in-laws, Caleb Kositany, all of them at the hospital, and nobody had informed me anything. Nobody had told me to come to hospital. No, none of them had called me to say James is doing so bad, except the friend who called me in the morning to say maybe in the course of the day you need to come and check on him. But this whole group was in hospital and nobody had called me. None of them. So I was very disturbed. I was shocked, very disturbed, and till today I need answers to this. So clearly something was done, and what I really suspect is there was a very tactful way that they ended his life. When I recall the question that the doctor asked me, and when I recall how he said James was a fighter, I said, so what were they trying to do to him so that he was fighting it? And when I recall the threats that he had been threatened to the point where he went to the police station to report that my life is in danger, all these were adding up. Just suddenly, when I looked at James with all these cotton wools in his mouth, and I said, they just did it. So my question today is, I wish someone can answer me what they really did to him at the hospital. In fact, the driver is the one who had a deeper injury and is alive and well to date. I mean, it was a very simple minor injury. When we were all assessed initially, they said none of you is in danger. None of us was in danger after the accident. I immediately, after they pronounced him dead, I wanted to know what the postmortem results would be. I unfortunately have never gotten any postmortem results to date.